Hey yo, what is up guys, Omni here. We are back and we are talking about Dracotail, and we are talking about it because no one is talking about the blue ice cards which you can play in Dracotail. Let me get off the first things straight. Polymerization is a killer card for this deck. What does the blue ice cards do? They give us rank 8 access, they give us extenders, they also give us breaks, but for the most part they are giving us consistent access to polymerization, mainly because this guy here does say in his text that if he is special summoned, he can just add polymerization to our hand. With that being said, you play 3 swamps, 2 polies, I don't want to count, and a few blue ice cards which give you access. Overall, you can play with the ratios, but you should have like 10 cards that consistently get you to polymerization if you have them in your hand. And if you only pair them with a single name that is a Dracotail name, and at least one more monster to fuse with, you get like a bunch of ways to fuse and sequence your plays, which are unheard of, because you can combo into oblivion with them, which Dracotail shouldn't do. So when I first saw the deck, I thought it was a cool concept. I like fusion decks, mainly because there's so much variance inside them. But whenever I saw the end boards, I was like, okay, that's it. And the other thing is, the other options like branded, they may be insane decks, but I cannot play them. Maybe I'm just too bad for it. I cannot pilot them. I'm just too stupid for them or whatever. But I tried to touch them. I can play them, so I needed to come up with something else. My first approach to this deck was also like a pile deck with all the other blue ice cards, but to be honest, I think the way I narrowed it down, it's perfect. Of course there's room for improvement, but as of right now, and as I said in the last video, this is a proof of concept. Okay, so what we will almost always do is use Sage's effect to discard them and send the monster to special summon out the blue eyes. Since we can bridge easily into spirits, we can get blue eyes into our grave, and if we summon a blue eyes monster with Sage, we get him with blue eyes in the grave, so he will trigger and add to our hand polymerization. Maiden is here for redundancy reasons. I don't want to play wishes, because therefore you would need to play a whole bunch of other spells and traps related to blue eyes, which you don't want to play because you need monsters in your hand to fuse with, right? And I think this is a good approach. We are playing three more cards that are not monsters, aside from polymerization, which on its own is amazing. It doesn't need to be a monster, it's polymerization. It gets our whole engine going. I will show a few combos, and you could say, oh, it's unrealistic to draw these specific hands, but keep in mind they are not very specific. I'm not saying they are the most likely hands to draw, but they are likely to get to some capacity, which makes this viable, because you will get some combination of monsters anyway in your hand. The next thing you need to do is to just sequence it correct, and if you end up with a just Dracotail hand, you just play Dracotail as it is. With Sage and the Poly engine, you play better Dracotail or combo Dracotail, and it also allows you to post-siding, you get to do a lot with the deck. So you start with the deck as a mid-range deck that can establish not the craziest board, but it is a board. Game 2, you can throw in a bunch of hand traps. All of a sudden you became a hand trap deck. If you lost the first game, I don't have them in the side deck yet, but I will show you some combos. You can just throw in some Tachyon cards, and maybe I overcooked there. Maybe it's not really viable, but it shows that you can combo into Oblivion, and you're going first in the second game, and no one expects Dracotail to combo in any capacity. And all of a sudden you went from a mid-range deck to a hand trap deck to a combo deck. I think therefore you would need a perfect side deck, which I don't have yet, but just the ability of the deck to do that is kind of crazy to me. What else is there to say? Because of Poly we can play Chimera, amazing card, I love it. Dragoon is here for the memes, though it could be a good win condition against certain decks. I didn't figure out which ones yet, maybe Lunalight, I don't know. But also, I was on the edge of cutting Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, and then I realized something very funny. This card is a floodgate. It says neither player can special summon 2 or more monsters at the same time. There is an engine which is called K9, which wants to do nothing but special summon out 2 monsters at the same time. Same goes for Crystron. And the other thing is, he also negates something in the grave, which is also just a K9 counter. It's a Crystron counter, maybe not so much Vanquish Soul, but if you see K9 cards and you have Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon on the field, you will have a much more easier time with the matchup than without him. So it's clear to say, this guy is probably the most underrated card in this format right now. Though I don't know how good Blue Eyes as a deck is, I never touched it. I wanted to make Dracotail more viable to me, I need a reason to play it, and here I am with the reason. Also, I made a bunch of combos. I didn't, let's say it the other way around. I made a sheet for you, you can visit it, you can go through the combos. I don't expect even myself to play those combos the way they are displayed there in any scenario, also because there are hand traps in the format, and if I would need to adjust every combo to every hand trap, I would probably sting here for the next 10 years. But it shows how much you can do with it. And also I have some combos specifically made for K9, and it looks amazing. The sheet will be available. I don't know how I will make it available. I will probably just make a Twitter profile and share the link there, and share my Twitter profile on this YouTube video. You are free to visit it. You are free to criticize me. You are also free to type into the comments whatever you want. Also, if you like Blue Eyes, leave a comment which says Dracotail Blue Eyes is the best deck in the world. Also the sheet is called, and it's the only correct name for a sheet for Dracotail Blue Eyes deck. It's called Poly Dragon Tailspin EX Combo Sheet. There's maybe missing a 3000 somewhere in the name, but other than that, use it as a resource. Some replays have mismanaged ad bags, but whenever there's a small mistake, you can check the chat box. Whenever there's the slightest mistake, it will get corrected in a way where you can figure out what went wrong. I will always correct myself. It's nothing too big that you can't follow through. Other than that, let's go through some combos. So let's go over the first combo. We need Lukias and Sage with the Eyes of Blue. And now I want to show you why this engine belongs into Dracotail. Let's go. We will normal summon Lukias, get 5 mana. Then we link it away for Spirit with the Eyes of Blue to get the field spell, which we then use to dump a white dragon. Then we punch Sage through to get access to Polymerization. Then we fuse stuff away, Faimena will chain, then we chain link Arthalion to chain block just in case we get ashed or something. We will set Ketu. Then we will get the extra normal summon, which is by the way not once per turn, which I had to find out. Go for True Light, and there also something funny happened. It was a bit too fast, I guess. So we had 2 8 bodies here. Arthalion, and I think it was Abyss. So we go into him because to sequence our stuff correct, we need more bodies on the field. And we also, on top, need Arthalion in the grave, because he generates a body by himself when 2 cards are sent to the graveyard. Which he also does if your opponent does it, right? Which could come up in some very niche scenarios, but enough. We can use him to go into Harbinger, to have a spell negate, without having Arthalion attached to him. So he kind of cycles through it, so we are able to generate more bodies. So we bring back Blue Eyes with True Light, so Maiden will trigger. Then we can make the Almighty Spirit of the Dragon, which is just a K9 floodgate for whatever reason. And by doing that, Arthalion will trigger and special summon himself back. And we didn't even use Ketu now, okay? This is just comboing and sequencing. As a whole, the archetype, the way it plays, it's so fun. And I played some ignorant games and won them, I don't even know how. I don't have good gameplay yet because I first figured out how I want to play the deck, and now I'm doing it right now with you together. So once I have some good gameplay, I will definitely show it. This right now is proof of concept. I will get this deck, I will grind locals with it, and I will, if it's necessary, I will gaslight myself into thinking this is the best deck, but I love it. Okay. We cycled through Arthalion to generate some extra bodies while having Harbinger on the field. Okay, perfect. Like I said, going to Spirit, Arthalion should trigger, but we sequence it a tier differently. Okay, that's also fine. Right, we use Faimena and fusion into Secretarian Dragon. Okay, so now Arthalion will trigger. Yeah, right, see? Sequencing. That's the key to success. So Urgula will give us back Lukias, which we have not triggered yet, and we just set our branded spell. We link stuff away, have a random floodgate. We have follow up. By the way, as I said, we didn't use Lukias yet. So when we used Dracotail Rahu to send Pan from the deck and Lukias from the hand, we get both triggers to set the spell and traps. So unfortunately we banished Arthalion by linking it away for Heavenly Spheres. But as I want to play the deck, if I get to this point, I want to use Spheres in... Or maybe I should hold it. I will hold it until True Light is threatened. Then we can bounce it back to our hand, so our board doesn't get wiped. This card right here kills K9 completely, kills Crystron completely. I hope it kills every other deck completely, because all of a sudden this is the deck I want to play. So it would be good if it's perfect for that. We have a random floodgate, maybe it will help us out, maybe not. We have both traps, so this is a pop whenever we want to have a pop. We have a spell trap negate. It also protects our seal from the battle phase, in case our opponent just drops randomly and normal summons a monster and calls battle phase. With seals we can go into Mululu. Mululu will be able to fusion summon during our opponent's turns, and by doing that we get even a negate and follow up through Mululu, which should be more than enough, I guess. We also get some draws. Graveyard is just a graveyard, I guess. And then going on from here we will just do the regular Dracotail stuff. Okay, let's go to the next combo. This funny card. And I'm just realizing we should have used Spirit at this point already. Let's see if Spirit comes up. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is horrible. We need to work on this one again. So I wanted to go over the next combo, only to realize I had an illegal play in there. But I'm glad to say that I just needed to sequence it a bit different to get to the same outcome, which only proves what I was saying earlier. This deck is just sequencing, squeeze out as much as you can. It kind of feels like a Pokemon deck if you ever played during a good meta. As I said, it proves my point, and we will go over the combo. We normal summon Sage, which is not once per turn for whatever reason. We will get Maiden. This is what I said for redundancy reason. Use Maiden to get True Light. Then we link away for Spirit. He will trigger and get us the field spell, the Mausoleum of White. We will get this to our hand. Then we will activate it, use its effect to boost the attack by the same amount of stars times 100 this guy has. Then we will just use him to special summon out Blue Eyes White Dragon. We will have Maiden here, which will trigger. Then we will use True Light to set to our field Rahu of the Blue-Eyed Dragons to the spell trap zone. Okay. I hate DB. Okay, we will use Rahu to special summon out. Where is he? The Omega Funny Abyss Dragon, and he reads at the most iconic and broken card in this deck to your hand. So we can use the in our hand and turn it into something good. Thinking. Yeah, right, it should be correct to shoot it off here. We will use both materials from our hand to special Arphalion, chaining one Pan, chaining two Arphalion, add back Pan, and Sage, which is not once per turn. If I ever said that already, let me know if you heard it already. Okay. Then I guess we will set. Let's set Rahu. Let's don't go too crazy. We have everything we need here already. Let's do the funny XYZ, which cycles our Arphalion. It's just do a rank 8 with one material. This is what this card says. If you attach Arphalion to this card, you can make a rank 8 with only one card. It's better than Typhon if you think about it. And Typhon is a card people play successfully. Use his effect to detach two materials to go into Harbinger, which protects again our seal once we make him. And then we make the super funny Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, which just decimates K9. So here we can trigger Arphalion. Oh god. Yeah, here it is. We will special summon him, and because we haven't used our extra normal summon, we will use it here to get some not once per turn interruptions. I guess those light level 1 tuners, they have something in common. Maybe they should do some not once per turn tier elements level 1 light tuners. All I'm saying. Okay, let's link this one away for the next spirit, only to get into 2 dragons, which we can use as material for seals. We are locked into dragons only, which is fine. We will use Rahu, send Pan from the hand, and I guess Urgula here is correct. In case we draw into anything good, we can recycle it with him. Then of course he will trigger, and we can protect True Light with seals, right? We have also a spell Negate. I guess it would be correct here to go into Horn. So seals protects us. If we don't need to protect, it's an extra interruption. We get into Mululu. If we draw into an extra monster, we can go into Arphalion and add Veiler back. We have an extra negate, and we can establish a bit of follow-up with Mululu. which by himself is also a negate if he gets used as fusion material, which we are very likely to do. Again, Sage and the worst name you can possibly have in your hand, and they work together. Proof of concepto! Okay, I really hope I didn't make the same mistake here, but let's go over the same combo, assuming we will get punished by K9. Normal Sage, get Maiden. Oh, it looks like we are doing it correct this time. Yeah, we are doing it correct. The last time I did an illegal play. Okay, we use Maiden. There we will assume that our opponent will make Izuna and immediately go into Reaper. Going on from here, we won't use a single effect in Grave, where our opponent has the chance to chain Ripper too. So, just for clarification, we used Polymerization, right? We have sent Pan and something from the hand, I think it was, to make our Phalion, and there we have the chance to Chainlink 1 use Pan and Chainlink 2 use our Thalion to add cards back. We live in a time where cards are printed that say when, so they don't have the chance to chain to it. We are still fine here. The next thing we will do is get out Spirit, and from there K9 is not a problem anymore. We can actually tell our opponent, thank you for activating K9. Of course we're not doing it, but once the game is over, we will go to our friends and talk very bad behind their back about our opponent, and then we will laugh our ass off because he was dumb enough to use K9 cards. Because if you read this card, it says if your opponent activated K9, you get a branded fusion +3, +2 depending on your hand without locking you into anything. Search and Foolish something from the deck. So it was supposed to be a rock paper scissor format, right? So Dracotail beats Yummy, Yummy beats K9, K9 beats Dracotail. I don't know who said it was a rock paper scissor meta. This card says your opponent activated K9, you are good to search and Foolish and just do everything. Branded Fusion is at 1, this card is at 3 and it's searchable. Okay, branded is also searchable by a filthy normal summon. Imagine any branded card would say, if this card is used as fusion material, get out of branded fusion. Okay, enough yapping. We will get out Spirit. We have a negate, so whatever we use in Grave, he can chain it. He should chain to put Lupus into Grave. Maybe he decides to not chain it, we don't care, we have a negate for that, and he also brings back Spirit, which will deal with Lupus in Grave the next turn, and going on from there he cannot summon 2 monsters at the same time, which we don't care about, but this is all K9 do. Everything K9 does is summoning out 2 monsters and making Reg 5 bodies. So now we use Branded Fusion +3. Let's go over it. It will get better and better and better, trust me guys. Right, so we haven't used Lukias effect to search something. So we used it as fusion material. So here at this point, if we special summon him out with Secretarian Dragon, he will trigger on summon because it's a modern card, which says if this card is normal or special summoned, unlike Sage. At least therefore he is not once per turn. Okay, from here we can get out Faimena again to our hand, so we can facilitate our bodies to make Philia Regis, I think is its name, which can banish Ripper, and like I said, from there we don't have any issues anymore with K9. Let's see how I did it here. Okay, of course we go into Seals first, then we use the other Branded Fusion, which is not a +3. We are locked into Dragons, we can't make spellcasters. That's why we made another Arphalion, and here we finally use Faimena. Banish something. Since we banished something from the field, we need to bounce something back. And here we can bounce back Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon. Voila! K9 doesn't exist anymore. Not for us at least. Let's go over more combos. I don't know what's going up here. I guess nothing interesting. Looks like a stroke. Okay, next combo. Okay, let's go over meme combo. I don't know how viable it is, but I think we will. I see King of the Swamp in the hand. It smells like Dragoon, right? It has to be. So we are doing the regular Blue Eye stuff. Also, if you like high rarity cards, I think playing only one is correct, and buying one Blue Eyes that looks very nice is cheaper than buying two. Also, you don't need to buy the Primate engine. In this deck, I think the Primate engine sucks. You just add another normal summon that extends into nothing. We got our Dragoon. If you like Dragoon, sub to my channel. Actually, you should oppress other people and tell them that they should sub to my channel to watch this video, exclusively this part. Do you see this? This is a Dragoon, and he can negate. We can also facilitate the bodies here to make seals, but having 3 monsters in your hand is... it's realistic, but it's enough at this point. If you are supposed to have more monsters on your hand, I think it gets very unrealistic, since seals is there to protect True Light, which we don't have on our field currently. There's no reason for seals, and here we'll go into Mululu, which can fusion summon something good because we have no monsters in your hand. So I think this is the best board we can establish. We have Arphalion in our grave. Don't forget then that if our opponent summons sends two monsters, we can chain Arphalion and then chain Gulamel. And maybe preemptively hit something that is an ignition effect and not an on-summon or quick effect. So, I don't know, maybe he makes Cross Sheep, right? Still needs a time window to trigger. But it will be missed at this point, because we popped it with Gulamel, a water spellcaster fusion monster, which pops cards. Unlike Dragoon, he negates, because he's Bay. So coming back to the conclusion, I don't know what you think. I think it's amazing. I want to play this. I never want to see other Yu-Gi-Oh cards ever in my life again. It has Blue Eyes, it has Polymerization. If it also had Dark Magician for any reason, or any Earth Machine monster, or a Crystal Beast monster, or a Tier Limit card, and maybe a Bystial, it would be a bit nicer, but I think this is as good as it gets. And tell me what you think about the ratios, tell me what you think about the non-engine, tell me what you think about the meta. Aside from Dice Smasher, I like this meta a lot. Not too sure about Yummy, I didn't play enough against it. I had some tough times with other decks. With this deck I was nothing but ignorant. I played Wishes which I couldn't resolve because I didn't know Wishes cannot search for the field spell. Because apparently it doesn't quote the name Blue Eyes. I don't know, I don't care. I had, I think, 2 Wishes in my hand and still won the game going second. Maybe he was the worst Yummy player in the world, but I can say that I was ignorant on 2 levels, because I was just about to figure out this deck and I never before played against Yummy at this point. So, what else is there to say? I have no clue about the side deck. I have some Tachyon Spice for this side. Like I said, if you lose the first game, you go first in the next game, and from there you can facilitate him to get to the Tachyon Dragon, which you can then special summon to your opponent's field, and then all of a sudden this card says again it's a branded +3 without the lock. And going on from there, you can make some awesome combos and boards. To be honest, it's probably unrealistic because you will get hand trapped to death probably at this point. But you have the option to do so by adding 2 cards in the side deck. I think that's a good deal. I'm not sure about this card. I think Dragoon and this they are exchangeable. There's also a world in which I would play Typhoon in this deck. Other than that, I have nothing else to say. Please be amazed, stay amazed, have an amazing day, have an amazing night, have an amazing morning, have an amazing life. Goodbye.